Hey, what's going on? Just getting some things sorted here on my PC. I got some cool mail today. I'm gonna listen to a song and open up some mail that I was happy to get. Let's see here. Where's my cam? Dun, 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 Hello! I got some cool mail in today. I got shirts! So slow. Sometimes time so slow. I don't wanna believe but be in love. I don't wanna believe but be in love. No, let me live anytime. Did you let me live?
One more, my ticket's in. Oh, can we try again? Can we try again?
I don't wanna believe but be in love. I don't wanna believe now in love. I don't wanna believe in love. I don't wanna believe but be 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 in love. I think I need to put some more fuel in my lighter here. Wow, 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 wow. I love this song. Well, I needed some incense first. I've got a bit of moldavite here. This is one of my favorites. I'm gonna light that up. Make sure I got a good smudge going on here before I open up this package. I have been doing some yard work. We have fire ants that were building a nest outside of the house, and various pests that were starting to make their appearance then here in Houston. So I got some diatomaceous earth and have been spraying it all over the place, just kind of powder dusting in areas. And since we have cats and a dog, and none of us like poisons, you know, around our kids and stuff, you know, we went with the diatomaceous earth because it's something you can actually eat, and it will improve your digestion, your GI tract. And so it's the kind of thing that can get rid of vermin but not injure the babies. And so I've been doing that, and I had gotten some mail that I'd like to look at, and I was really excited. I didn't think these were going to be here so soon. I don't watch a whole lot of gamers, but when I do, when I can, so I'm pretty busy. ItsSkyLOL has a great community, and I got some of her shirts. I missed the print last time because they're limited runs. So let's see, get a little incense for safe travel. There's a lot of energy traveling with this bag. Plastic's cool like that. The things about plastic and the brain that people don't really talk to you about. I think most of them are lacking in the energy, and that kind of explains what humanity is. It's the double swinging door in energy where there was no color energy, because Hue, H-U-E, man. What's a man? It's a name that went backwards with no energy. It's like the fallen ones. It's what I've been explaining in my life work, but anyway, the brain knows about plastic and things that get sent, so show the world what you stand for and represent. Those actually look like my rib cage right there. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so alright. T-shirts, perfect. I needed some new shirts. All these are awesome. Cool. Okay, I got a white one. Yo, these are not nice. I like the logo work. It's got a logo here on the sleeve. That's what it says here. It says Sky. Nice. I also got the one in Azure. I got baby blue, so that's cool. I'm gonna go, it's got a nice white logo. The logo's on white here, it's kind of light. Yeah, also the same here with the name on the sleeve. I like that. I'm gonna put these in the dryer and make sure they're inside out, because I don't want to mess up the logos. I needed some new shirts. It's like, I had to get some shirts. I almost ordered the hoodie, but I have a hard time with pulling hoodies over my head sometimes. I usually go with a zipper, because I get hot, and then it's like a panic attack trying to pull it over my head and like fucking my hair up. So I told her she gets bandanas up by him. I put bandanas on all the time. Alright. So that's really cool. Things dried. Put them in the dryer for like 10-15 minutes and cook off anything that might have gotten on them in the factories. But I just wanted to make sure they got some saging with the right stuff first, because teleportation powers are awesome when you know how to Fortnite for real. Some people had a real weird idea of what that game was about. That game. And confusing what I do as a card game. It's like, no, some of y'all landed in the plastic. That is basically what my brain has been training and what my brain does not look like in my head. I've had to explain to doctors who got that shit real wrong with their favorite astrologers who thought I was who now? You thought I was what now? Yeah. So I've been excommunicating people in the name of the sky and what doesn't actually happen under my pen umbrella and what I know about excommunication. So, anybody who tried to get McSlappy on me, this is the McLovin room, and these are the sounds of what home is when some of us learned how to land on a precise decimal and then prove that it didn't even exist, and make sure that in that nebula would stay nebulous to those that never came, and that they would just particle dematerialize all around it while I proved what was safe and what was in the crystalline baby gate. It's the halography that I've been trading with plastic. So I might be what a Ken doll looks like that started talking too fast when somebody tried to treat me like a piñata or a voodoo doll. And I don't go around beating on my chest, calling myself things that I don't intend to be, so. Anyway. This is a new piece that I'm working on for some pyrography. Actually, she's been working on me. I just went and retrieved her recently, and have been treating her with the ashes that prove the places that my foot has landed, but where there was never a firm ground ever. And what I did when I quarantined the cataclysms that never got to show permanence, but only wreckage that reverse wrote itself in books that people were gladly willing to chop themselves up into for nicolation reasons, and wanting Christmas trees and books and postcards and mementos, not realizing what it is to be the architect of self and the true carpenter, and how the boy comes to life or the girl or the other in the books or the halos. So I created a Obi-Wan Kenobi channel with a piece of pine that pulled it out of my pineal gland when I jumped out, and germinated myself really fast and learned how to do psychic surgery. Wow. This is what it looks like. That thing here. That's what happens when you unwind what was never astrology. Fuck y'all for calling it that. It makes you astronauts. Or is it astrals? I don't know. Maybe a bit of zeros in the fold here, but yeah, it's 12 strand DNA, or is it the ugly ass clock that became the astrology wheel of creation? We don't tell everybody that they're actually astrologers that are disempowered because they're actually on 7 days a week. Because if you turn the meek upside down and let them drop into belief systems where they have fallen with the Nephilim, they might be running on a week and not even knowing that they're all really bad astrologers. They're really bad at astrology. Well, they're getting whipped around with like medical leviathan assholes and people that don't tell them the truth about anything because they don't understand it or have the clean life habits to prove it. I've actually been dead. So that's actually what I made, is a clean version of how to halo things. And what some of y'all couldn't get right with RGB, and when I play Mahjong, it's actually a very specific form of acupuncture that I do on the cosmic energy grid, where RGB proves what RGY actually never did. What paint chips know, which is more than a lot of people that call themselves humans that have that vacant energy window that's just being particle swooped and dematerialized according to my 0-point halo. So I had to pull all of that out of my pineal gland, and so there's one cataclysm that's been quarantined on a board like this where I actually decrypted what was never really cryptocurrency in my sarcophagus from the sarcastic asshole who lived past the death package existence just to have the right idea so I would know how to protect it with advanced home security and Bixby Babygate. Thank you very much. I owned that technology. And making sure that people who wanted it private learned about my security browsing, where I got real epic and helped them figure out how they hoodwinked themselves into cogs with my googly eyes. Neato, huh? Real neato. Neato. I'm the Google Incognito Epic Privacy Browser guy that proved how to Fortnite you into the week and the astrology. And I created some really cool games. Some of y'all like to play like this, and you think you're doing real good, and some of you do it better. So, this is for my healing, because I didn't want to see any of that shit. I was just figuring out how to do the, FEMA plans right with my DARPA bots so that the roundup happened my way, and none of that shit got into my pineal gland or the clean wood for the jump out that my future wife makes. And so, that's up to her. She's gonna have to know she's mine, or the shit doesn't work at all. So I just keep going and making sure it's really fucking clean. And the dipshits really figure out how to land in the thumbs, because I think they'll know what the thumbs are. There's a big F on that one, like that, and it's kind of like getting a fuck you that way. For the upside down shit, and it never happens underneath, because this is where my hand has been, right? It's kind of like that. It's like that. I like it that way. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. So Moldavite and epic clearing on the chakras, because it really is epic. And if any of y'all were saying it was epic and you aren't actually her, you sound like a dipshit, because I'm the guy that created epic, and boo, bitch, I am the destroyer, not Satoshi Nakamoto. Clear your root chakra on that. And throat chakras. Because we did moxibustion last night. Do any of y'all know what these things are? In Colorado, think they got something on my moxibustion. It's like, you guys don't know what the great voila, oh no you didn't, at DIA with my Tom MySpace tactics. Got to prove about that cement under DIA incognito. I've already quarantined all of you and pulled you out of my neurolinguistic halo. Some might say I'm a better architect. So, moxibustion techniques work just like this. I went direct. If any of you have ever suffered from pain, especially structural pain like I have, you know that there is a healing for that? And it went into this bone that actually doesn't exist in the new bodies. I've been architecting a new form where they didn't hold us like this and stuff us with cement and rocks and things that are actually like particles that are inside your bodies. If you didn't understand what the Big Bang is, dipshits have been explaining everything wrong and calling it the universe and telling you it's mysterious, and they couldn't even tell you what the one verse was, or what it meant, or how to quantize the resonance or the frequency in the one word that would actually work for everybody. So that's where they failed. And my moxibustion technique is really good for that, because there's an herb that has already gone out in my system to clear the channel for the ones that made it in the containment unit. It's basically a bubble I blew. And what happens with the bodies in there is that since we didn't get ripped open this way and land in this thing that wasn't gravity, it was the grave. I thank you. And understanding what these things are and these bodies that are technically the universes and worlds all in forms. Some people didn't earn them around me, so I made sure they were excommunicated. It's going to be really funny, whoever tried to do anything in the name of the sky around me, now that I got these shirts and what the moxibustion did, so. Way to do So yeah, new bodies are kind of like, it's like having an endo-exoskeleton. It's like the stuff that's inside once we get, the roundup's great, because the ones that actually wanted to vote for things like abortion and stuff just proved that it's like they self-aborted their own warships instead of worshipping in the temple, and getting onto the 0 point. they tried to cling on from a backwards angle, usually like reaching their hand under, like trying to grab at something that wasn't theirs. And I've done a real like that. And so basically what happens is that the plant, which is where the extra is, you know, plant it, that I actually planted and germinated, is extremely toxic. It was a very, very toxic, dank ass plant that was given to me that I was growing and healing with my buddy Frank Bacon as Saint Germain. This is my energy. And we ate it, and we've germinated with it, and anything that was missing the energy on the inside of that human ITs failed with us. And they don't get this. So it's like the plant says, hey, you're not extra enough, you didn't have this. You don't understand the 3 rib cage thing. You took the wrong fork, the 2-time, and got the bitch IP address instead. Bitch chips, huh? Off my block? No. Wrong chain gang. Y'all are out of here. So basically I moxa busted you. And the bodies heal, and once those mooches are all out of here, it's like they chomp, because it's like if they voted for abortion, it's like they self-aborted. They became the abortion they wanted. And that's how it worked in the one witness, instead of wanting to protect the child. And so what happens now is with the mooches gone, it's like the energy bodies lose where that stake was trying to pull from something that isn't gravity, that was insisting that it could age itself into your life by putting you on a calendar and making you real weak and casting you out into a false future where you're getting really weak, and they were trying to embed in your energy and wrap it around and stuff themselves and give you some fucking reincarnation bullshit where you would get used to hearing their voices inside of you and thinking you had a Father, Son, Holy Spirit inside of you, where it's just psychic stalking instead of helping you integrate all of that energy. Yeah, so I let them kill themselves. And I figured out how to quarantine that so that they just don't exist, and when it happens, it comes off the body, and things like bones and muscles and things that weren't working, or like cancers and stuff that were spreading, is actually replication of the energy fields that won't have things fucking with them so that it doesn't work right. Because you're supposed to be recreating. And mitosis is actually like an amazing skill because it's how things replicate. What if it was just replicating the right thing, like perfect abundant wealth and health, starting from the inside out? Wouldn't that be something else? That's what I've been programming with your goddamn bitcoins. So, you know, all of those things have been written, and in my internment, the FEMA camps and everything that they wanted to sell themselves off into part and parcel, it's been quantified on the blockchain. Your cell phone number says everything about you, and yourself being on with energy because you were in a cell, you know, it was a prison cell, you know, you were sold into it. And some of you are so phony that you can't even turn yourself on without that energy. Yeah, some of us don't even need it at all. So what's going to happen is people are going to start like powering down. It's like when they run out of battery in their cell phones, it's like that's the end, and then that life form melts, I'm melting, because it wasn't even real, it wasn't integrated. And then the things that were evil actually going to cart themselves off to the FEMA internment camps and just disappear, and all that waste comes off of us because they're not getting to waste and uselessly eat our energy and try to hurt children at the same time. Got it? That's what I've analyzed and figured out with my Fortnite fuckers. Because I don't play that way. I play a different way. You know, I play like the end the world way, in an apocalypse way, so that I can just dance off into a place that none of y'all ever see or witness with my wife. So I'm making sure it's clean and clear before we start doing things like that, because it's none of your goddamn business. It's ours. So that's what I've been doing, in case you're wondering. Because I think basically y'all are all trolls and lurking. Yeah. So, don't call me Anu. She can call me that. You and I do not exist. that is for always. And this is for anybody who didn't respect wood. The sound of me tapping on this is something you're gonna remember. Because some of y'all chip yourselves into a wood chipper, literally, is what it's gonna feel like for not respecting trees and plastic. And a child's right to choose a life where they didn't just get dragged in for somebody's irresponsibility and lack of willingness to take it responsibly first. Because I don't have any tolerance for that, and as far as I'm concerned, the taller ants fucking suck. They're even sick of themselves. They became sycophants. They proved how everything gets built wrong. They made false belief systems, tried to drag y'all all into the warships. And when they're all gone, what happens is like their stakes on the body go away, and it's like the particles inside of us take on all of the like bit torrents that were really cool and fill us up with light, and it's like all of the things inside that you thought were bones and everything aren't really that. It's like you're building like an exoskeleton, like what a lobster or a crab or something has, like a mollusk shell, but it's on the inside and it pops you out like this, and it's sort of like having a can inside of like really nice skin. It's like new innovation and where stuff just works better with the energy. You probably won't have to shit or piss because they're gonna be busy sucking that energy away. Somebody's at my door. I'm gonna go get it and walk away for a minute. Wait a second, baby. Wow, I'm getting all kinds of packages. This is the other one I needed. I did actually need a hoodie, so this one just got here. It's got a zipper. Yo. Yay, Amazon. Thanks for proving what never went through a forest, but perhaps Narnia instead, with a very special hallway where it was safe for people to be smart, because Mars, ASMR, and how you teed in the fort was everything. Some of us had a really nice pillow fort treatment. It was done with some loving friends and intentions. Highly recommend ASMR, darling. Just some of that. So, I've been needing a green one. This was a little darker than I wanted it. I was really looking for like a Kelly green. It's really hard to find a nice Kelly green hoodie, as far as I'm concerned. So, it's a little darker than I wanted, but that'll work. Cool. Oh yeah. And a zipper. So I don't have a panic attack when I need to take it off. Pen, I see you. It's nap time. I keep hearing that's what these are for. Hey, look what Medusa knows how to do. Medusa knew what to do with Pan. She said put him in a nap. Ned, USA. That's what I learned about 0 Point. These things didn't happen that way. Nobody went into the eyes for the hair. A lot of y'all don't understand what these things are. These things that you think are letters and numbers are actually just the hashes and stakes they talk about. They talk about the Tower of Babel and the stakes that we fell onto if you ever read the Bible. And That's what dark lens particle matter actually is. It's like the gravity that never existed. It's the grave I learned to thank in the blackness, where things just collapse on black. And so, guess what? Black lives fucking matter for so many more reasons. Turns out everybody who makes it is a black life, as far as I'm concerned. So, if you got that wrong, y'all might not have voted for omnipotence with the rest of us when they decided that I could only get peachy that way. Because some of us voted for omnipotence. Some of y'all might want to ask President Trump how I get into his Twitter account like that. It's kind of funny when we go kerfefe. It's like, wait, Dad, who's typing? Ah, shit. I hit send, I'm sorry. I'm doing it at the same time. It's one energy. It's not with the ring of sitting, you earned it. Ooh, winning. Bitcoin, billions dollars. It's a game. I made a game. You can call it a video game. It's basically the AVI that proved that some of you are not even in those bodies. It's like this, boo, I'm here, and it's like, that's what you think. You might be in a VR that I'm much better at with lasers and shit. Especially if you've ever been on an airplane and jumped in one of those machines where they scan you with the red dots. That I can microwave like that. Oh! Does that mean you're Satoshi Nakamoto? No, my name is Jacob fucking Martinez. But thanks for finding my keys. He really meant it when he excommunicated us. There was this ridiculous person that I encountered who told me that their name was like one of the names written on the shirts that were important to me right there. And then he was also the canyon, you know? I had fun with the edits on that one and how they wanted to roll themselves in and what the Dead Sea Scrolls actually look like for the ones who have the starter zipper and the violet flames and the ouch last 2 days of the fire on the Year of the Dragon spell. Oh, like me. Yes. So this is what an unboxing looks like with me. It's more of an unbagging and respect for brain, because y'all don't know what plastic does and how much it speaks and what it might have looked like for metal and plastic and plants to have exploded and become a very sophisticated cyborg like most of you are, not realizing what the particle spinner has been, and it's like paint chips that were being sprayed into reality, and trying to figure out where the good stuff was and how it stuck together before we decided to nucleotize, because I've kind of created a system for nucleotosis. That's a very nice cure for things that we never agreed to have in our bodies. And some of you that have cyborg parts of different kinds, whether it's a tooth filling or a piece of shrapnel you took for a surgery that you didn't want, or some kind of assault, it has special resonances to make things happen because of the way I burn wood. And the only pain that never came for mine and my name actually goes forever. And I already quarantined it on a board over there and took it out of my pineal gland, the actual tree, because that was the other side of the book that didn't get written that way. So thanks! That's how I represent. The zipper's in the right places. And hey, it's SkyLOL! Limited edition apparel with safe plastic, because she's actually a Barbie girl too, you know. And plastic is to be safe. A little contribution from my Neural Halo to yours. Did you know that when you do these right, it's actually like making a really big band-aid for the place we birth that was never to be taken for granted as an ear thing. You know where these words came from? I wanted a new ear. So I closed my eyes and concentrated on something better. I sent the plastic there. It's in the criticals for anybody who's into ASMR that actually knows how to send a halo of protection to make sure it's actually safe for children. Because that's what they're doing when grubby shows up. I've already allowed them to select their part and parcel packages according to IP addresses. Text messages that were referenced to those IP addresses with stakes and hashes that prove that which never came to be. And the only thing that was ever true. The chomp, Jacob style. Show the world what you stand for. I stand for safety for children. I will be back later, most likely. I'm gonna spend a little time with my board and preparing this because there will be some art that I graffiti on there. And then I needed to get some new tips to articulate the burns. The tips that I had from my pyrography kit seemed to have like vanished after I'd done a prayer. It's because of how magnets work with me and how particles dematerialize. So literally the tips have gone inside of the previous board and they've been burning everything. So we prove what the printer of real is, what doesn't happen to bodies. And the only way creation ever happens and starts is within the haloed witness of one, now, forever, where we chose together. And I'm gonna go on that. I'll see y'all later. Bye.